Right, so we're going to finish talking about Chopin. Remember, he only lived 39 years and he was not in good health most of his life. I gave you three words for the Romantic time period: passion, emotion, and drama. Remember, it's not love songs, though. And he was born in Warsaw, Poland. Remember, March the 1st is the date his family said, so that's what we go with. But his paperwork actually says, his birth certificate actually says something different. Here's a couple of places important to his life. Remember, he played the piano, and that was his main instrument. His first concert at age 7, as well as his first composition at age 7. So he was considered a musical prodigy. He was also an excellent artist and talented author, but his choice was to be a great musician. So we watched that little video last week, if you remember, told us a little bit about Chopin. So I just want to add a couple of things today. So this is a painting of Chopin at the piano, and he's in like his parlor. Parlor is like a fancy living room. And Chopin was a performer, but he did not like to perform for large audiences. It is said that he gave probably about 30 concerts in all. If you think about that, he started playing at age 7 and he died at 39. So if he only gave 30 concerts to large audiences in his lifetime, that's like less than one concert per year. He really didn't like to perform for large audiences. He preferred to perform for small audiences. So he would invite people over to the parlor or give what's called salon concerts, where it was a smaller, more intimate gathering of people. And he gave a lot of concerts that way, even though he didn't give many concerts in large venues. So he had some good friends who were also composers: Hector Berlioz and Franz Liszt, to name just a couple. There's actually several more than that. But I wanted to mention Franz Liszt because he's also a piano player, and Chopin and Liszt were good friends, and they, probably because of their interest in piano together, they composed and played the piano. But Liszt was known for his big hands. So there are actually bronze castings of Liszt's hands because they were so big. A great advantage if you're a piano player to have large hands. See, they look large if I do that, but mine aren't that big. So three ladies in Chopin's life. One he was engaged to for a year. Her name was Maria. This is actually a self-portrait of her. And this was when Chopin was probably about 25 or so. Maria's parents did not allow Maria to marry Chopin because they felt like Chopin would not make enough money as a musician to properly take care of her. So they did not let her marry Chopin in the end, even though they were engaged for a year. Chopin did court, I guess that's the word they used back then, a lady named George Sand. Now, if you look at that, that doesn't look like a girl's name. It's actually her pen name because she was an author. And it was improper for ladies to write books, write music, be artists. So George Sand wrote under this pen name. I think her real name started with an A, like Amuleto or something like that. I'll have to look that up. But anyways, most people called her George Sand because she became very well known as an author. Now, she and Chopin courted for quite a while, but it happened that she wrote a book where the main characters were a rich heiress and a sickly prince. So Chopin, when he saw that, thought that was like, it was not very nice about Chopin. He felt like the prince was representing him. So when she wrote that book, that's the way he said it, he decided that they would not continue their relationship. The last lady's name was Jane Sterling, and she actually took care of Chopin towards the end of his life. Remember, he was sick most of his life, but as he got towards that 39-year mark, he got sicker and sicker. So she kind of took care of him, especially money. She was quite wealthy. And even though she would have married him, Chopin felt like that his health did not allow him to get married at that time. So that's the three ladies in Chopin's life. He never did get married. We know that he's buried in Paris, France. His body is, but remember, his heart was moved to Poland. Because of the war, it wasn't safe to bury his body in Poland, and that's where Chopin wanted to be buried. So Chopin's sister, when it was safe, transported his heart to Poland. It was in a crystal vase, and it was preserved in alcohol. So the scientists decided to study it. This is a picture of some pictures